Kickoff unit all lined up, and we're ready to put toe to leather. Fielded in the end zone, it's Bell. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. And Jesse, they've got a quarterback that if he can get into a rhythm can certainly make plays for his team.
Here's the thing about him, too. He's not the most consistent guy, and he's not the most talented quarterback in the country, but when he's hot, he's really, really tough to stop, David. It's important they get this guy going early.
Yeah, and it's not just him. Like, the offense has to, around him, play well. They've got to protect him. Receivers have to make plays. The running game would be good to get going, so it's got to be a team effort because then he can really be at his best.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Johnson looking to throw. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down. After that last incompletion, the offense is now in punt formation. He's got it. He was working his way toward midfield, but they'll stop him at the 46-yard line. David, they've got a guy outside that has a lot of potential, but he has to prove that he can be a go-to guy.
No, 100%. They are going to have to depend on him to make plays, to consistently catch the football, to make those one-on-one matchups, make the defense really pay when they choose to do that. I think he's the guy that can do that in spurts, Jesse.
Yeah, he doesn't terrify this defense. We know that having talked to the defensive staff going into this game, but they have seen him flash before on film. They know he has the ability to make the wow play. For them to win this game, though, you get the sense he's going to have to make a few of those for this offense.
Now it's a 1st down from the 43-yard line. He leaves it with his back. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? Rides the back on the option to give. They almost got a 1st down there. Stopped a yard short. It'll be 3rd down. Looking to throw for it. Snagged in the middle. It's Farrell. Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a 1st down. He might have expected to see this DB up in his receiver's kitchen. Instead, nice little zone, and they pick up the 1st.
Man, offenses are getting so good, Reese, at seeing the holes in the zone, knowing you're in zone, knowing where to sit down, how to make it an easy pitch and catch for the quarterback, and that's what it was on 3rd and short.
It's Taylor. They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion. Leaves it with the back. He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in. The terrain gets rough this deep in the red zone. 3rd down. They can pick up the 1st without scoring. He's got it. They'll make the stop about a yard short of the 1st down. 4th down and 1, and they'll go for it. Tries to get it on the ground. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on downs. 1st and 10 from inside their own 5. You got to take care of the ball, but there is room to take a shot here. They'll run the RPO and throw it right. And he's brought down after a nice gain. This offense tries to get rolling from its own 15 on 1st down. Pulls and throws off the RPO. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Johnson wants to throw it. Snagged out of the air. No chance to run, but still a good gain. So what do they have for 3rd and short from their own 23? They'll stick to the ground looking for the marker. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short. And the offense will stay on the field. Do you think they're just going to try to make the defense jump? Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down. They moved the chains on the ground last time. Let's see if they try to hit him up top. Holds and fires complete to the right.
During the week, you got to talk to your quarterback. Quarterback, what do you like? What's your favorite, safest routes, easiest reads? Love coming out with those early with the short passing game.
They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Looking to throw on first down. Gets it to him on the screen. And he's going to lose yardage. He was looking everywhere for just a little grass and a little air, and none to be found. From the gun, the ground game. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. Ninth play of the drive coming up, but this one will be tough. 3rd and long. Oh, he'll keep it on the draw. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. Punt is on its way. They'll get down and put a stop to the return at about the 28-yard line. They'll christen this drive from the 28-yard line. The hand to the running back. They get him stopped at the 32. That's a gain of 4. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6.
Defense came into this one knowing they were going to see some tempo. They've got to get the call from the sidelines, get it communicated, get lined up.
Caught behind the line. It's Taylor. And the defense stops him just short of the first down. Maybe needed a few more chain links to move the sticks. On 3rd and short, they'll try to pick it up on the ground here. Really nice job there to pick up the first down and get it to their own 41. Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. And he's able to shed 1 tackle and gets a pretty good pickup. As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter.
And you're seeing the offense now mix up the tempos. After a successful run, they're now going hurry up.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Just this side of midfield, the defense trying to rise up on 3rd and short from the 49. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. Knocked down in the backfield, and that'll bring up 4th down. Unlike the old school thinking, this is the area of the field that is really 4-down territory now. We've reached the end of the first quarter, and it has been a defensive battle, and the stats tell the tale so far. Let's see if the offenses can find a little rhythm here in the second. And here comes the punt team. They'll boot it away for the first time tonight. That one's going to go out of bounds, and it'll be dead at the 35-yard line. All right, guys, so here's the offense back on the field again. From the gun, running back gets to give. Turning it on. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Johnson looking to throw. Got a man in the middle. Makes that one pay off, and they finally get him down at the 38. It'll be first down. Use the play fake, now to throw. Fired just a little too long as the junior frustrated he missed that connection. They're dealing with a 2nd and long. After the incompletion, they go back up top. With the catch, it's Bell. Nice gain on that play, but a little bit short of the first down. On 3rd and short, they'll try to throw for it. Grab near the marker, it's Cano. He's got enough for the first down. They'll spot him at the 24-yard line. Wants to go up top on first down. Pressure is on the way, and the pressure has arrived, and down he goes at the 30.
And those outside linebackers nowadays, they're so fast. They got to cover ground. You can blitz them off the edge, and they can get after quarterbacks. Versatile. That's why they're getting drafted so high in the NFL and getting paid all that money.
A big play for the defense with the first down sack. Now, advantage D as the offense comes up on second down. The give to the back. Drives ahead for 3 to the 27-yard line. 7th play of the drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. He's looking downfield to throw. Complete to the right. Gets it inside the 5, down to the 4, and it'll be first and goal. Defense is backed up. Shadow of the goalpost trying to defend their own end zone. Caught in the backfield. It's Bell. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. He'll do it himself. And he gets it back to the 4-yard line. No farther than that. No gain on the play. This offense has converted twice on third down on this drive. A third time would put him in the end zone. And the quarterback caught up to and sacked at the 12.
Well, here's an interesting decision. It's early in the game. Do you want to be aggressive and try to seize momentum and go for this? Or do you just take the field goal and take the points?
Looks as if they'll send out the field goal unit. Never a doubt. Right down the middle. And with that, they break the seal on the scoring. It's 3-0.
And 3 more on the board, and this kicker is starting to get a reputation starting off the season. Hasn't missed yet. Nice to have a guy that you can really, really depend on.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. And the offense out on the field to go back to work. Catch in the middle. It's Stevens. Building momentum, picking up a chunk of yardage, moving the chains out to the 34.
And it's frustrating as a defense when you give up that first down and you give up that pass play. But here we go with this offense. They're right back on the ball. You got to flush that. You got to get lined up, and you got to communicate.
Finds a man on the left. They make the stop, and he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
And as soon as the receiver caught the ball, you saw the quarterback start communicating to his teammates what the next play was going to be, because they're now changing the tempo and going fast.
And the heat gets home. They knock him down back at the 45.
What a nice answer by this defense. You give up the big play, you respond right back, you get the sack, create some momentum for your side. Nice job by this defense staying with it.
Now facing second and long after the defense came up with that sack. Off the bootleg, looking to fire. Flips it out in the flat. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. Now this defense could really use a stop on third down as the offense has had its way. He's going to throw deep right side. And trying to put points on the board on third down. Now they're staring at fourth down. The punt team makes its way onto the field. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Probably hope for a little bit more on that one. It'll go out of bounds right at the 30-yard line. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. Leaves it with the back. He's going to lose a yard on that one. Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. To the ground with the back. Hard running there. What a nice job by the defense to string it out, not give him any kind of alley, and knock him down for a loss. Backing up and backing up on the first 2 plays now to try to throw it in drive on third down. Rushes on him. They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20. The defense going to stop the clock for the timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. Punt is on its way. Working his way on the return up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. Out of the gun, the inside handoff to the running back. The clock has reached the 2-minute mark, and they have a chance to at least cut into this lead before the break. Solid pickup of 4 on first down. It's 2nd and 6. Looking to pass. It's good. Takes a hit as he fires. A strike downfield. And he was off to the races. Finally tripped up at the 36. Timeout called here by the defense. It's the first one they've used this half. Finally, this offense starting to shake the cobwebs and get things moving. It's 1st and 10. Good hands in there by the defense to force the incompletion. Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. Couldn't connect on first down. Now back to the air. The screen. He's got wheels. Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a first down. Gonna look downfield again. Sets up the screen. Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass as it just never developed. Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Back to pass. Throws for the tight end. He's got it and just sashays into the end zone for the touchdown.
And you gotta love the creativity with the tight ends nowadays. They can do so many different things. Does a good job. He slips behind the defense. Defense doesn't know where he went. And what does he do? He gets in for 6.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point makes it 7-3. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
A lot of interest in this CUSA showdown today, so let's catch you up to speed on things. The home team is within striking distance, but time is not on their side. Time to see if they can solve this riddle. La Tech knows it's in a battle, but they're in the driver's seat with this lead. They've proven today they are capable of leaving here with a road victory. They're trailing by 10 to Louisiana Tech. Implications galore inside CUSA, and we'll circle back should anything big happen.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Got his man down the middle. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. Give to the running back. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. They'll hurry to the line here to try to get off that 3rd down play. Johnson wants to throw it. Couldn't find a man and just had to throw it away to avoid a negative play. They bring the punter onto the field now. He's getting a lot of work. 4th time he's punted tonight. The punt goes out of bounds, and a nice job to get them backed up. I think they'll spot it right around the 15. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half.
And that would be the definition of first down success. Putting yourself in a good position. It's 2nd and inches. I can do whatever I want next. I can take a shot down the field. I can run the football and get a new set of downs. Like, nice first down execution.
They make the stop, and that is the end of the first half. That's the end of the 2nd quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Thanks, guys. Looks like we've had ourselves a really entertaining first half. And a lot of coaches will say limiting the big plays and maybe hitting on a few yourself is key. But I'm more of a move the chains guy. Give me efficiency every day of the week and twice on Saturday. The offensive unit that subscribes to the less is more philosophy might be the one that leaves here today with a big fat W. It's time to throw it back to our guys in the booth to start up the 2nd half.
Just about set to get this 2nd half underway. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. RPO complete to open the drive. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. Out of the gun, the running back has it. Defense fills those gaps. He's got one to the 28. They've made third down offense a key. It'll be tested on 3rd and long from the 28. To throw, it's good. And they won't make the connection, looking to make a big play there. And here comes the punt team.
On to kick it away.
Fair catch is signaled and made, and they'll go to work from the 27-yard line. And let's see what kind of ball plays this offense has ready. To the air on 1st down. Out of the backfield, he's open. A 7-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Second down coming up.
They'll run it from the gun. And they'll bring him to the ground after a short gain. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. 4 punts already, and they've got to convert here to avoid a 5th. They'll try to get it through the air. Working that left side now. And he gets it done on 3rd down. They move the chains, and they'll mark it at the 44.
And that's good enough for a 1st down.
The give to the back. Stopped at the 46-yard line, but give him 10 yards and the 1st down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. The throw to the outside is complete. And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one.
Brings up 2nd down.
He'll keep it himself. He's going to lose a yard on that one. Now facing a 3rd and long. Tight end now in motion. Johnson looking to throw. The sure hands, it's Bell. At the 20, he's got space. Put the clamps on that ball and strolled into the end zone for a touchdown. When that receiver got free, it was all over.
And it's so nice to have a receiver like this as a quarterback because you pad my stats. I like those long touchdown passes where I just threw it really short and he did the rest of the work.
He'll try to tack on one more. And the extra point puts them up by a field goal. So it's a 73-yard touchdown drive. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. Fielded in the end zone. It's Hunter. Gives it the big stiff arm. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. They'll run it out of the shotgun. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. To the air on 2nd down. And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit. You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. Rides to back and leaves him. He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks. The punt team makes its way onto the field. 4th time tonight we've seen this guy come on to punt. Let's see what he can do with it. He was hoping for a little more running room, but they're able to get him down at the 45. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Here comes the offense onto the field again. Off the play fake on 1st down, wants to throw. And the quarterback runs out of time, and down he goes at the 38.
oftentimes with play action, you're asking the quarterback to hold on to the ball a bit longer, and you're asking this offensive line to hold up and pass pro a bit longer. Against this athletic front seven on defense, it's going to be tough.
Second down now after the sack. Johnson wants to throw it. Pressure coming. And this defense goes back-to-back sack, Jack.
The offensive line coach will be pulling his hair out. His head coach is okay right now because they're winning the game, but from an O-line standpoint, they've been atrocious in pass pro.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. They go to the draw. He did not make it a stonewall on third down. They bring the punter onto the field now. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. Fields the punt and tries to work it the other way. They'll get down and put a stop to this return. They'll mark it at the 32. Out comes the offense as they get set to take over. Off play action on first down. Quickly to the tight end. Great pickup as they'll keep this drive moving, and they've got it at the 45. They get to the line quickly.
And after that long completion for the first down, did you see everybody sprinting to the line of scrimmage offensively? They want to go tempo right now.
He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down.
And that's why QBs love their tight ends so much, right? Especially when they're athletic, because they make short throws turn into long gains. Because of his ability after the catch, it's so unique and special. He is dominant in this offense.
Quick tempo here for the offense. The play action fake. Unloads to the wideout. Just too much mustard on that one. Can't miss the target that badly. They're looking at a third down and short from the 33. Back to throw. It's good. Fires to the wideout. And they wanted it all on third down, but now dealing with fourth down. And here comes the punt team. That leg is staying loose. Already the 5th kick of the night. They've got the big fellas out there. A 3 tight end look on 1st and 10. From the gun. Give on the inside. Gets the nose of the ball to the 25. Give him 1. After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. From the gun. He leaves it with the back. Picks up a useful 5-yard chunk out to the 30-yard line. This is where you make the money on the drive. Ball at the 30, it's 3rd and short. They'll try to pick up the first through the air. Intercepted. That is just what this defense needed. Nice pickup on the return, but more important, they got the takeaway, and now they're in business.
There were a lot of people really excited about what this guy could do. Some were saying he could be an All-American, and he's proving them right. That's already his 2nd interception early in this college football season. Offenses are going to figure it out. They're going to stop throwing this guy's way. You just get in trouble when you try.
And the offense takes over to dip into its bag of ball plays. They'll start this drive going to the air. He's got it. They get him stopped, but the big gain has him on the doorstep. Let's mark it at the 13. Here's the handoff. He's tackled right at the 10-yard line, and they're trying to cash in on this drive. Going to work on 2nd down in the red zone. Is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Scanning the field, it's good. He makes a grab. They've got it down to the 3-yard line. Really well done on that throw and catch. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. They'd love to pick up this 3rd down and get a fresh set with 1st and goal.
3rd and goal.
Tries to slither forward on the sneak.
3rd and 1. Everyone knows it's coming, but the quarterback sneak is so hard to stop. They just got to get 1 yard. Nice job by the offensive line.
Well, a really good push by his center on that last play, making it easy for his quarterback to just tuck the football, belly it, get low, and drive your legs.
Can the defense stop them again on 2nd and goal? The run up the middle, trying to steamroll his way in. He works his way all the way down to the 3, and the defense is reeling. They'll run it here on 3rd and goal. They rode their running back, but he could not make it. It'll be 4th down.
It's now 4th and goal.
One quarter to go, and might we have the makings of a classic 4th quarter finish. So here we are on 4th down, and this field goal kicker is going to face all the pressure in the world. Going right down the boulevard. Guys, we have a tie ball game here in the 4th. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, every game in CUSA is so very critical. How about this one today? The home team has the lead right now, but this crowd is restless. They just haven't been able to separate themselves yet today. Louisiana Tech has been hanging in there, but they're going to need something to break their way, and soon. They're up by just 1 over Louisiana Tech. We'll keep you updated as this one goes forward in a game that could shake up the CUSA race significantly.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. From the shotgun, the inside give. And this one will be stopped for no gain. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Johnson looking to throw. He lofts it high and deep down the left side. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on. They punted away on 4th down. And they'll bring him down to get the offense started on the next drive. Right down the middle. He's got an open man. Finally corralled, but not before. He picked up the 1st down. Offense in the hurry-up.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
And that wasn't a big gain, but look at the offense. Right back on the ball, ready to call a play, ready to go fast.
Looking to fire. The screen, he can go. Didn't pick up a lot there, moved it forward just a few. A little less room to work with now as the ball's at the 28 and it's 3rd and long. Grabbed over the middle, it's Dorsey. The change will move and they'll have 1st and 10 from inside the red zone at the 18. Use the play fake, now to throw. Quarterback extends the play.
Welcome to the frustrating reality of college football. Like, the guy at the quarterback spot, he can just do that. Pull it down, get positive yards, makes the defense have to account for him every single play.
And he never had a chance, just stopped cold as soon as he got it. It'll be 3rd and long. Back to throw, it's good. And a missed opportunity on 3rd down as the defense knocks it free, and 4th down is coming up. And now on 4th down, they will put it on the shoulders of the kicker to save them with his foot. Absolutely perfect. And they've regained the lead. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. So they were able to put up a 3 spot on that last drive, and now the kickoff team out there as they prepare to put boot to leather. On the move from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Power football with the run. Got it across the 20 and out to the 23, a pickup of 4. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. Wants to go up top. Going to try to pop one on the screen. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they get it out to the 36. Line gets set, first down. The give to the tailback. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Grabbed behind the line. It's Cano. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup. Now facing a 3rd and long. That's reeled in. It's Bell. He'll be forced out of bounds. Let's mark it at the 48-yard line as this offense continues its work. They'll leave it with him. And he does a really nice job finding open space and making a good gain before the stop is made. Finds his tight end.
Kind of like that big, reliable security blanket. And that's what tight ends are a lot of the times. They're just usually big, huge guys that if I throw it anywhere near him, he's going to pluck it, catch it, and give me some positive yards.
They'll put it in play from the 40 on 1st and 10. Quarterback on the keeper. On the move at the 30. There he goes. Just making a play, getting it to the 23-yard line. It'll be first down. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Down to the 23 for this 1st and 10. Pulls it in. It's Bell. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. Handoff from the shotgun. Look out, he's got room. Runs it all the way down, almost to the 10. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 12. Defense has to be frustrated. The offense keeps matriculating and matriculating and matriculating the ball down the field. And there were no creases or crevices to run through, and they shove him out of bounds. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. They'll move the wide receiver. Off the play fake. Caught in the backfield, it's Bell. They just can't seem to cover this guy. He keeps getting open even when he's running out of space on the sideline.
Yeah, running out of space, they're still going to feature him. They see the matchup, and look at the balance and the coordination and just knowing where I'm out on the field to get the feet inbounds and secure the catch. What a play and what a day for this young man.
They're going to run it. Sprints into the end zone for a touchdown.
And this is a running back, guys, that gets better as the game goes on. Here we are late in this one, and he's still breaking off big runs. Impressive, making people miss, showing you the speed. And that touchdown gives his team the lead.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And he tacks on the extra point. They held the ball for 15 plays on that touchdown drive. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. He'll start the return inside his 5. And the returner will be brought down. This is the biggest drive of the game, but the offense has to stay cool. No reason to panic. Then again, panicking is never a good idea. Breaks into the open. They stop him just short of the first down, but it will be 2nd and inches coming up.
I like this idea by the offense going hurry up here. You just had a very nice run. Let's get back up to the line of scrimmage and go fast.
He'll pull it on the read. Has plenty for the first down, and they stop him at the 28. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and time time is of the essence for this offense to get things done. Offense has it at the 28 on first down. Looking for a man. It's good. Throws to the wideout. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball. Working well behind the sticks on second down. He'll do it himself. Smashes ahead.
And that is why this guy is a true dual-threat quarterback. You've seen him all game, hurting them with his arm, already over 200 yards passing. And how about his running ability now? And flashing that on the option play. There's a variety of ways he can take the game over, and the defense is figuring that out fast.
And a big play on the outside. What a job to keep those feet in bounds and get the completion. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. They dialed up the perfect call, splendid execution. Now they've got it threatening. 1st and 10 from the 27. Looking to throw on first down. Good job to toss that ball out of bounds and avoid the loss. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Back to pass. Here comes the heat. And the pressure will get there. The sack. Down he goes in the waning moments. That could be a costly play. On 3rd and long, a check down would be the last resort. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Never really got that return cranking, but the offense is set up at the 30.
When you're down late in the game and you got to make plays, it's really tough not to force the football. You could tell quarterback forces the football. Defense comes up with a huge interception.
They'll put the ball in play from their own 30-yard line. The give and tick, 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 tick. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. He'll keep it himself. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. Back to the ground game on the left. He fought him off for a while, but that's what they mean by gang tackling. The punt team makes its way onto the field. He'll try to really get into this one. He'll field the punt and take it back. The solid return there offsets some of the punt yardage and really sets up this offense nicely. To the air. It's good. Pocket breaking down. And he can't find anyone open, and down he goes. A sack here late in the 4th. Back to throw, and he needs to make a play. Didn't have much of a choice there, but to get rid of it. Got to get everybody lined up quickly. Time winding away, and they've got to push the ball down the field. Oh, they're after him. Dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. Well, look what we have here, guys. After all the early season doubts, these guys have put together a winning streak.
They sure have. And man, they're just believing in themselves right now. This is a completely different looking team than what we saw early in the year. They're playing with so much more confidence. And David, when you start making plays, you start stringing W's together, that's obviously what happens.
Everybody gets energized. Everybody starts to contribute. Young guys start to grow up. Coaches start to believe in them. Everything starts to turn around and swing the other way. They got it all going in the right direction.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.